You're watching the 2019 SCAC Fall Media Days. It is day 5, and we're taking a look at the Southwestern University women's soccer program. The Pirates coming off an 11-6 season a year ago, 8-3 in SCAC play, second place in the regular season, and runners-up in the SCAC tournament. The Pirates will once again be led as they head into this season by head coach Linda Hamilton, along with senior goalkeeper Mary Cardone. Coach, Mary, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Coach, we'll begin with you. You head into your 5th season as the manager of the women's program there at Southwestern. It's such an important time in preparing for the year. What makes this part of the season, preseason, exciting? And how, I guess, crucial is it as far as setting those standards for the rest of the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think every year preseason is one of those times, and in college coaching, every single year you're going to have a new team because there's always kids graduating and you're always bringing in a new class. So obviously preseason serves a ton of needs in that getting the players to know each other, learning. Obviously, as a coaching staff, we know what the newcomers can do, but our current players don't get on the recruiting trail with us. So just kind of creating that teamwork and team-oriented environment and making fitness standards and setting fitness standards and kind of just setting the tone for the attitude we want to have for the year. And I think for us, it's always a benefit to have the luxury of preseason before school starts. I think to just sort of have the opportunity, especially with this heat, to have an opportunity to have a lot of time for practice as well as getting our system of play. So for me, preseason's always exciting because it never turns out the way I expect, because it's just newcomers and returners coming back ready to go, and I'm really excited with the enthusiasm and the talent on this team.
Mary, you're an outstanding two-sport athlete, and who my guess is really someone who's probably been in season basically their whole life. Now going into your final collegiate preseason for soccer as a senior, what is your mindset? Does it feel different this year? Is there a sense of urgency, and how much pride do you take in being a leader on this team?
I honestly never thought this would be like the last year. Being a senior is something that I didn't think it was going to happen. So now that I am a senior, it's like, oh my gosh, my last season. So I think this year I just want to be able to do the best that I can for the rest of my team, doing my job and helping them in, any way that I can. And, I hope that is enough for us to, do the best that we can in every game.
Coach, I look at this roster, and you have 9 returners that made 12 or more starts a season ago for your team, which is pretty remarkable. Does that change sort of the thought process of you and your staff as you come into camp? Does that allow you to maybe move at a little bit different of a pace through preseason that maybe you haven't in the past with all this experience returning?
Well, I think a lot of credit goes to the current players and the returners. Obviously, we have some history with them and understand the way they play and their level. I give them a lot of credit because they seem very, very motivated and have come in fit and ready to go. And for me with the newcomers as well, having returners is great from a leadership standpoint, but we are a team, and this will be the way I hope we always remain. Even though maybe that's a lot of starters that have returned, it's a brand new season. So right now we don't have any starters yet, and I think we have to view every team and every year differently. And honestly, in order to complete the kind of season we hope to complete, it's just really got to be a one game at a time situation. And as Mary said, I think the kids and the players and the ladies are motivated to play for each other. They're really close and a good bond already. But who's going to be the starters? It's going to continue to unfold every day in preseason and then every day in practice. And whomever starts one game, their job is to keep earning it, and the ones that aren't, their job is to try to take it away. So we look for that competitive fire. So yes, I'm filled with confidence to have such great leaders coming back, but I think and the ladies understand too, none of them feel guaranteed a spot. They're all really excited to work daily to earn their spot.
Mary, you were part of a defense last year that allowed just 15 goals on the season, a .88 goals against average. That was second best in the SCAC. Certainly, you were a huge part of that, but how does this defense continue to trend in that direction and continue to make it difficult for opponents in that defensive third of the field for the Pirates defense?
Yeah, we had a really successful year last year defensively, and we had two freshmen that played outside back, and Mallory, Romy, and I kind of took them under our wings and kind of put them into the system that we are used to playing. And it's just a matter of communication, working together, knowing what one person's going to do and what one person's not going to do, and just kind of communicating and figuring out what's going to be the best. And as we bring in new players in the defense, I think it's just a matter of taking them under our wings and making sure we communicate with them, and hopefully it works out and we have another year defensively that's pretty successful.
Coach, you talked about the benefits of having experienced players returned. I think back to last year, you brought in a huge freshman class. I believe it was maybe 14. You bring in a big group again this year. Experience is one thing. Kind of continue to progress and get better as a player is something different. What do you look for, to kind of see that next step from your athletes, not only just the experience-wise, but in terms of taking their game to the next level? What are you trying to accomplish there in this preseason?
Yeah, I think one of our jobs as a coaching staff is to literally try to out-recruit each year's class. That's to not be disrespectful to the class we've brought in. It's to help enhance them by bringing in better players to challenge them, which will bring their game up. And I think these last 2 years have really been a culmination of our longevity now going into a 5th season and a 5th cycle of recruiting. We had established a good base, and I think what we also needed was a group of players currently here to do a good enough job and to put us on the map and to win some games and to make some noise so that these current younger players want to come here and help continue our trajectory into trying to be not just tops in the SCAC, but we want to make some noise and get some regional rankings and things. And our job as a coaching staff is to out-recruit each class, and I feel we've done a good job of doing that. And then you have the mix of talent and integrity and of the veterans, and it really helps this team. I think we've intended to be better each year, and I think this year our hope is in 2019 we continue that positive trajectory one game at a time to keep improving to achieve our goals at the end of the season.
Mary, individually, you're a 3-time all-conference performer, 2-time first-team all-SCAC, including a season ago. Last year, you made 78 saves and .839 save percentage. That was best in the SCAC, and as I mentioned, allowing just 15 goals and over 1,600 minutes played. Take me through this offseason. What have you worked on individually that's, you want to work to continue to improve and make sure you're at the top of your game as you head into this 2019 year?
Yeah, this summer I had the opportunity to play, with a summer team with a bunch of other college players. So, I was able to work on, more communication skills, being more specific in that, as well as footwork. Footwork is super important as a goalkeeper. So, that also helps that I play tennis and that kind of transfers over. So that was something I continue to work on is also super important. Another thing is just kind of, my feet skills, as we're playing out of the back and whatnot, it's super important, to make the right pass and make the right decisions. So, I think those 3 things are, things I've been working on and are pretty important, and hopefully going into the season, what I've been working on this summer is hopefully going to pay off. So,
Coach, offensively, this team took a huge jump last year. You went from 6 goals in 2017 to 26 last year in 2018. How do you continue that trend moving into this season?
Well, and I think we had set some goals for last year's team, and I think, again, just setting the tone and the tempo. We had a lot of variety in our goal scoring as well. We spread that out across a number of players, and I think when you have a prolific scoring team and I think we might have had over 10 or 12 players score goals last year during that 26 run of goals. What we're looking to be is a dangerous attacking team regardless of who's in, and we want to be a multifaceted team that can attack both with number of players, and in our system we commit numbers to the attack to help us score goals. We want to be very committed on the defensive side, but the growth for the team is just a continuation of better players coming in and the level of competition increasing. And I think now that they've set some standards, they know they can do it. So we'll set some goals individually and as a team about how many goals we want to try to score and give up. But, you know, we know defensively if we can keep it tight, it gives us a chance to win games. So offensively, we want to take those chances and be courageous in the attacking third. And hopefully that continues a positive run. And you know, I'd like to see this team, the talent is here. I'd love to see us at 30 goals or more scoring in a season, which I think this team can be motivated to do that.
Mary, it's a long season. I'm not asking you to look ahead, but the reality is I'm sure with the goals of this team, you know, playing for an SCAC tournament championship is one that is certainly on this team's mind. That being said, you know, Southwestern has the opportunity to host the SCAC women's soccer tournament championship this year. Does that add a little bit of buzz with this team, kind of the excitement of knowing that there's a chance that you and your teammates could be playing for an SCAC title there at home at the end of the year?
Yeah, it's super exciting that, you know, we're able to host the championships, you know, this year. You know, seeing the men got to do it last year, and, you know, they had such great success with that. You know, I'm hoping that, you know, the women's team this year is, you know, able to do that as well. But I think it's a matter of taking each game, you know, one at a time and making sure we focus. We don't, obviously the, you know, the overall goal is, you know, winning the, you know, the championship. But I think as long as we're able to take each game one at a time and then build up to that, you know, overall goal, I think it'll be fun. And obviously having it at home will be great, and all the fans and, you know, students and staff can come out and support us. And I think, you know, that is also going to play a big part in us, you know, winning a championship.
You know, with that in mind, wrapping things up with you, Mary, just as you've had discussions with your teammates, as you've had sort of these preliminary meetings with your group and looked ahead to the season, what are some of the 2019 goals for the Pirates women's soccer program?
Yeah, you know, like I said before, you know, obviously the overall goal is, you know, winning a championship. But, you know, another thing is with the big group of, you know, freshmen we have coming in this year, it's a matter of getting them acclimated to the team culture, you know, taking them, you know, not only in, you know, relationships on the field, but as well as off the field, as that's, you know, super important in the team culture. I think just communicating with each other, working together, all these things are going to, you know, play a part in our overall goal.
Finally, Coach, I'll end with this. As we look ahead to this 2019 season, you and your staff have definitely, you know, made some big strides and put in some serious building blocks with this program in the last 4 years. As you head into year 5, what are kind of your expectations with this group? This season looks successful if what plays out for this women's team?
To get Mary, Romy, and MJ a 5th year, is that a possibility? You know, I think we had talked about it, and I'm really, this class of seniors I'm indebted to. They came in and gave us a chance to be able to put these building blocks together. So for me, success this season is always about the team and what they want. For me, success this season is about the team continuing to improve, working together, climbing sort of some hurdles that they haven't been able to overcome, and as a staff it's our job to give them the tools and everything they need to overcome these hurdles. And you know, I think for me, I know it sounds crazy, but watching them kind of take it and see where they turn this season for themselves and how they take this season and really embrace it is going to be what's successful for me. I have no doubt of their talent and their capabilities of accomplishing big things. That part I don't worry about at all. For me, it's about making sure I've set the standards and the foundations for them so that they can achieve these goals they want, because they're going to put the work in, they're going to give me the heart and the soul. So for me, it's going to be about all of us culminating together. And you know, I always believe in seasons you need a little luck. Sometimes you can make a little luck, but if you're all traveling in the same direction and really creating an environment that is competitive and fun, and everyone wants to be a part of it. That's what this team has already been able to do for us as a staff. So for us now, it's about making sure we put the right pieces in the right places at the right times to give them the chance to be successful with the way they want to. And you know, their effort and their heart and their work rate and their dedication is what's going to dictate their success, and I have every confidence that they're going to be able to achieve the goals they've put out for themselves.
Southwestern University women's soccer program. Once again, the Pirates will be led as they head into the season under head coach Linda Hamilton, along with senior goalkeeper Mary Cardone. Southwestern will kick off its 2019 season on August 30th when they take on Sul Ross State. Coach, Mary, thanks so much for your time today, and best of luck as you head into the year.
Thanks, Russell.